Good morning, absolute family. So this weekend, during my beautiful, amazing quarantine, outside the office hours, I went ahead and I rewatched one of my favorite movies to come out recently, which is on Netflix, which is called Dolomite Is My Name. It's with Eddie Murphy. And just a little bit of a disclaimer before you go ahead and run and watch this. It is a comedy. It is filthy. Do not watch this around your children, and do not like this if you don't. Do not watch this if you don't like foul, filthy comedy, because if you do not like that, you will not like this movie. Anyway, now that disclaimer is out of the way, so Rudy Ray Moore, who's the subject of this movie, is a comedian, and he basically is known as the godfather of rap, and his comedy style and his linguistics really helped birth or what we now know as rap today. But essentially what this movie is about is his life and his rise to fame, and how this guy just is always betting on himself. So I'm going to give you a really quick synopsis. So he's working in a record store. He's tried singing, he's tried dancing, he's tried all this different stuff. He wants to be a comedian, so he comes up with this comedy style by talking to homeless people and the way that they kind of rhyme and the rhythm that they tell jokes with. And everybody's like, man, that's not going to work. That's not going to work, Rudy. What are you talking about? And then he goes and he does this, and he ends up being really funny. And they're like, wow, this is great. Like, you keep doing those nightclubs, man. This is awesome. You're doing great. He's like, well, I don't want to just do the nightclubs. I want to make an album. And everybody's like, man, but you're doing so great in the nightclubs. Like, I just don't know if the album's for you, man. Just keep running the circuit. He's like, no. I'm going to do this. None of the record companies take his deal, so he self-promotes it. He's entrepreneurial. He makes the records and albums himself in an apartment. He releases it, and he ends up doing really well. So he comes out with all these different albums. Once he starts doing that, people are like, yeah, man, this is great. Like, we want to sign you. We want to do this. You want to do that. So he's getting really famous. He's doing really well with the records, and he's like, you know, I think I really want to make a movie. And everybody's like, Rudy, like, you're doing great so far, man. Like, these albums are going really well. What do you want to make a movie for, man? That's not for you, right? You're a record guy. You're a comedian. You don't want to make a movie? And he's like, yeah, I do. I want to do this. He's like, no, you can't do that. We're not going to give you money. We're not going to sign it for you. So he ends up and he goes to go make the movie himself. So he makes the movie himself. He's super proud. No one will release it. So then he goes ahead and he says, well, you know what, Rudy, like, it's time to quit. Everybody, like, you were really good at this thing. Like, congratulations, you at least made the movie. You should be happy with that. Not everybody's able to do that. And he's like, well, no, I'm going to go release it. So he goes and he does it all by himself. He does it all by himself. And long story short, it ends up going, and he becomes super famous, and ends up making these movies. And here's the bottom line, is that people would allow him, right? People would tell him that he could do these amazing things up to a point in which it made them uncomfortable. And then they said, no, you can't, you're here. Just stay here. That's good, right? You don't need to go here. But he knew, he always bet on himself. And I think about this, especially now with our health. You knew we were going to bring this full circle, right? Is that, like, so many people are willing to give us a little bit of a bet, right? Like, oh man, like, you don't want to, like, your kids have a fever, you don't want to give them ibuprofen because you believe in, like, the innate healing potential in the body. Like, that's okay. But now that we're here, like, oh, but they're really sick, we need to do antibiotics, right? Or, oh man, you don't want to just go ahead and take, like, an ibuprofen for everything you want to do. Like, you want to make sure you're just, like, that's all great, that's all good. But, like, now, I mean, like, that was good, you got to a point, but now, like, you need this. Right? Like, and we can only trust our bodies, right? We have an entire pharmaceutical industry that profits off the fact that our body isn't able to heal on its own, yet, like, their intelligence within our body is perfect and amazing. So what I want you guys to know is that especially in times of doubt, and guys, let's be real, right? There's a ton of doubt right now in the body's innate ability to heal itself, right? There's tons and tons of doubt on that. And there's so much like, man, we let you do this up to a point, but now you've got to do this. And what I want you guys to do this week and think about is, who are you going to bet on, right? Are you going to bet on yourself? Are you going to bet on your family? Are you going to bet on your body and how well and perfectly, amazingly we're designed? Now, I don't think that we should be irresponsible with our health, and I think that we should follow recommendations and guidelines. But the bottom line is, guys, is that it's absolutely not time to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Our bodies are beautiful. We are designed amazingly. We are designed beautifully. And the bottom line is that I believe that the best defense against sickness is to be healthy. I believe that the best way to build a healthy lawn isn't to treat it with chemicals, but it's to build a healthy soil, right? I believe that the best thing that you can do for your family is to focus all, or at least 99% of your energy on what can we do to be as healthy as we possibly can, right? As healthy as we possibly can, because the healthier we are, the less likely we are to get sick. That's the bottom line. That includes, getting outside and getting some sunlight. Look at it out there, right? Get some sunshine today. That includes getting essential nutrients like A and D, doing our anti-inflammatory things like fish oil. That includes exercising. That includes all these different things, but most importantly, it includes making sure that our nervous system is adapting and handling physical, chemical, and emotional stress, because we're getting more of that than we ever have before. That involves getting checked for subluxation regularly, right, throughout a lifetime, which I believe, and which I know some of you guys have already chosen that. Some of you guys aren't sure, but it's something that I do, my team does, we do for our families as well, because we believe that getting checked for subluxation periodically throughout a lifetime and adjusted when necessary is crucial to not only avoiding and preventing damage in later, but being able to live optimally now. I believe this. I know it to be true based off of not only my experience, but the science and research. And I want to make sure that you guys continue to bet on yourselves and continue to bet on your own health, because I sure as heck am going to continue to bet on you, because I believe in you, and I believe in your families, and I believe in your health. I'll catch you guys soon.